Hello dear soulmates and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's tutorial, I'll be taking you through the process of how I made this beautiful lovely wedding dress. If this is what you would like to learn, then kindly stay tuned to the end of this video. Thank you. Alright, so the first thing I did was to draft out my cupped corset pattern. I have the full tutorial on how to achieve this on the channel. I'll be dropping the link in the description box below. So I've actually gonna to cut out my cup corset, and it's going to have an inbuilt corset with an outer zipper placement. Alright, so I'm gonna to cut out my pattern on my fabric, and I've added the necessary seam allowance. So for the front now, I actually used two nets. So I cut out 4 layers each for the two nets, and then for the back, which is going to have the button loops, I actually wanted to cut out my bridal lace, and then I used doll face. Sorry, I used crepe for the cup part of my corset, and then I used nude net for the yoke. Though I later changed it back to the white two net. For the back, I'm using the bridal lace. This is going to have button loops. You can actually decide to put zipper if you want. Now this is the cup part. The cup part, I'm using crepe for the cup part, and I've gone ahead to cut out 4 layers for both the main fabric and the lining. Now this is me cutting out the skirt part on my fabric. I'm using crepe for the lining part. Now for the skirt part, I decided to use the skirt arcing technique to actually achieve a full train. I have a tutorial on this, on how to achieve this method on my Instagram page. You can actually go ahead to check it out and learn how I actually did this. So this is me cutting out. This is the front pattern. Now for the front pattern, I actually used about 6 inches for the A line effect, and for my seam allowance I added 1 inch. The lesser seam allowance, the less bulky it would be. And I would also be doing fabric placement on this, so I don't really need much seam allowance. So I'm just gonna to cutting this out now. Now this is the back. As you can see, I've placed my pattern on the back, and I'm cutting out my back now, as you can see. So for the train length, I decided to use about 100, yes, 100 inches. You can make yours shorter or longer if you want. So this is it. The longer it is, the more sweep you would have, which is why the skirt arcing technique is your go-to method if you actually want fullness for your train. This is me just cutting out my back now, as you can see. I hope you can see my chalk markings. You can see how long it is. I'm also using crepe fabric for the lining part. That's so that the A line effect or the mermaid effect comes out very, very well. This is me just cutting it out. Just want to go ahead and take your time to cut this out. Remember, I'll also be dropping the link to the tutorial on how to cut this skirt arcing, or how to use the skirt arcing method for your mermaid skirt in the description box. This is me still cutting out the back part, and you can see it is really long, so it's actually taking time to cut out. So I'm cutting it out like so. You can also use this method for your Owambe outfit, not just for your wedding dresses. You can use it for your Owambe outfit. So this is me still cutting out my back. For the zipper allowance, I also went ahead to use 0.5, because the skirt part will be having a zipper, while the upper part will be having the button loops. So like I said, now you can also use this method to actually have an inbuilt corset and inner inbuilt corset, and then button placement outside or zipper placement outside. This is me still cutting out my pattern on fabric. So the yardage used here was about 8 yards. I used about 8 yards. Now this is the length, the train, yeah, as you can see. So I'm just testing this out to see how long it was and to see if it needed to be added to or to be reduced. But I think we're actually fine with this train with the length. Actually, we're fine. So this is us cutting it out now on the bridal lace. Emphasis on the bridal lace. If you're making a wedding dress, you can't just use any old lace for it. You have to get your bridal lace. So this is we are placing our crepe fabric on the bridal lace, as you can see. Now it was actually the lace was a bit shorter than the crepe fabric because the lace was about like 45 inches in length, not the regular 60 inches. So it's about 45 inches in length. So we actually add to the lace at the bottom part. So we had to like join to it. But we did it in such a way that you would actually not notice. So this is us just still arranging it. One good thing about this method, that's the skirt tacking, is that it enables you cut, like even if you're using the short lace, a lace that actually has a short length, like it enables you cut out your trim perfectly. So all we just did was to just cut out a small piece and then join it at the M. This is not pinning it down, so we're just pinning it down. Yeah, we just arranged it so to get the best result. Yes, so Miss, please, when working, you should always work with your pins. So you're just pinning this down. You can see we've actually pinned it down now, and it's time to cut. So you can see the length is quite long. This is just cutting it out. So at this point, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly do so. And please don't forget to like, comment, and share. So we've actually went ahead to sew the skirt part, that's the lining part. Let me call it the lining part of the skirt, and then we actually used crinoline at the M. So this is what the skirt looks like, as you can see. So we're just testing out the fit. Like I said, I'll be doing fabric placement on this. Now I also went ahead to sew the lace parts of the skirt separately. Remember, fabric placement. So we are just going to go ahead and wear it on it. And now this is me pinning it down, like pinning the lace skirt or the lace part of my skirt to the lining part, that's the crepe. I'm pinning them together. Remember, that is what fabric placement is all about. So you're pinning it down. You should ensure that the seam lines are aligning. The seam lines should be aligning. So you're going to go ahead now and arrange them and then pin them together so they actually match up. You want to arrange it. Emphasis on the seam lines aligning. Then whatever excesses you have, you can just go ahead and trim it off. So you can see it's looking beautiful already. Alright, so as you can see, this is still us checking out what we've pinned. It's been fully pinned together. Now you're going to tuck the hem of the lace part into the lining part. I've also gone ahead to cage my cup. I have a tutorial on this on the channel too. And I've also gone ahead to line the back with two nets. That's the lace. I lined it with two nets. This is what you should have when you're done. And this is the front part. I've also added my bones, and then I've also done fabric placement on it. I placed my lace on it, and this is me fitting the cup. Now this is the inbuilt corset, the part that would have the eyelet. This is it. I'm also gonna need to sew it down. Now for the back, now I'll be adding my button loops. This is readily available. You can get it in stores, and I'm just going to sew it down like this. And we're attaching it to the back part of the corset. So you want to go ahead and sew this down. So I'm adding it all the way to the hem. So this is my caged cup. I'm going to be attaching it to the corset now. And then I'll be attaching it to the back also. You can see how neatly caged it looks. Right, so I've gone ahead to pin it down. I've sewn the back loops, and then I've pinned down my inbuilt corset to the outer corset. I've pinned it down. This is what it looks like. Now, this is me still showing you my curve. Right, so I've actually gone ahead to attach the cup to the corset, and then I've also joined it to the skirt parts, and I've also added my yoke and my sleeve. I'm sorry I couldn't get to do a full video on how I did this, but this is what it looks like. And then the next thing we are going to be doing is cutting out strips from the fabric, and then joining it to the upper part to cover it up. Now this is us untacking it here. This is basically another method of lace placement. So we covered the entire upper part with lace that we actually cut out from the fabric, and we're also untacking the skirt parts, the main fabric to the lining. Can you see the way we actually pin down the laces in strategic points to cover it up? This is ours here. Let's untack it. Everything was untacked. Please untack. Do not use gum for this because gum would fall out eventually. So untacking is still the best. So this is just untacking it here. Using a curved needle actually made the work easier for us, as you can see. Alright, so this is the finished result, and you can see it looks so beautiful. So I actually hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I'll be seeing you in my next tutorial, guys. Don't forget to like, share, comment. See you guys. Bye.